Welcome to episode 1 of the Monday morning Hot Flash podcast. This is our first episode. We're talking about today about stages of grief,
Right up in the face.
being an octopus, and having a lizard
Holy
as a
fuck.
dead mom. I saw that 40% of Republicans think that Bill Gates is going to give them the coronavirus.
Wait.
What do you think about that, Gabby?
How does
Okay,
Yeah.
hold on. I thought this was an intro.
Hot topic. Bill Gates right off the
I
bat.
thought we were just getting to the real shit that we came here for right away.
Oh,
but
I'm sorry.
yeah.
The hard-hitting stuff.
Well, I'll introduce myself to you, my two intimate friends. I'm Harry, and my dad died of big cancer corporation on January
Yep.
5th, 2017. And that's
Hi, Harry.
Hi, Harry.
Hi.
Hi, Harry.
I'm Gabby.
Hi.
And my
Oh,
mom died. I'm not done. And my
She
mom
is, go on.
died September 3rd, 2016 from big old reptile dysfunction.
Yeah. Hi, Gabby.
Hi, Gabby.
Thanks.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
I feel really welcome here.
Thank
Are
you
you
for
done?
sharing.
Yeah.
Reptile.
Okay. I'm Madison, and I second what Gabby said because we're sisters, though we've been mistaken as lovers.
We have.
So, yeah.
Oh.
See,
We have. I think it's just, I don't know.
Well, we've been mistaken
Corporation.
as lovers before, Gabby, as well. Even
Oh my
Oh,
God! Wait, we
really?
actually.
Wow.
Yeah.
Huh.
She was told that she had a good man. She had a good
Yeah,
man.
yeah,
and
yeah.
it was me. It was me.
And it was you, and I said yes, I do.
Aww.
I do have a good man.
I do have a good man.
Wow.
Well,
Yeah.
well, school just got out for the big Corona 2020 big
Yeah.
batch quarantine kids, and
I couldn't imagine.
I was just thinking about school. I was just
Quarantine kids.
yeah, quarantine inside kids, outside kids, quarantine kids. And none of us are in school anymore, but we all used to be in school at the
Mhm.
biggest roller coaster downhill jet ski ride of our lives.
Oh,
It was a
time. Oh,
downhill jet
time.
ski.
I know.
Wow.
Yeah.
Against
what a
all
time.
odds, somehow we hung on to that jet ski, and yeah,
Were you a senior?
persevered.
Were you a senior in
I-
college or a junior?
I was a senior. My mom died right before, like days before my senior year began, and I did not want to return. I really wanted to drop out, but I didn't.
Hey.
Didn't let
No.
mommy's ashes suffocate me into dropping out.
Get,
No,
get
no,
out of
no,
that
no.
plastic bag. Yeah.
Yeah, I was a senior
Yeah.
in high school, and she died like a couple weeks into the year. So everyone was like, yeah, it's senior year, and we're like having so much fun. And I was like, yeah, I have to go to my mom who's dying in her new boyfriend's bed.
Oh,
So
that's a
it was
classic.
kind of like, my weekend plans were a little different. They were
No homecoming that year.
they were more fun. It was a kickback.
But unlike
Yeah.
Maddie, you got to get some sick hospice back to school shopping right
Yeah.
before she and you mentioned that your mother had stage 4 reptile motor function. Can you talk a
Yeah.
little bit more about that?
Yeah, so I mean, what no one tells you when your parents about to go is that they can morph into a creature that you don't
Mommy
recognize.
morph, Yeah.
It does. Yeah, yeah.
Appearance changes drastically.
I was like, my
Yes,
mom-
the closer you creep to death.
Scaly, yellow.
Yeah.
Looks
I
like she's about
mean-
to be initiated into the Illuminati.
We've all heard of jaundice, right? I mean, it happened
Oh,
right
yeah.
in front of our eyes.
We've
Oh,
heard
yeah.
of it, but I don't think many have experienced it.
The olivey lime, almost
Mm.
iridescent green tone.
But Harry, your dad,
Yeah, tell us.
he was
about
a
your
certain color
journey.
too, right?
Yeah, he turned green.
And how-
Go on.
As
Do you
far
want
as
how green?
academia is concerned, where? Oh, do we? Oh yeah, how green?
Yeah, I'm more of a color guy. That's how he was
Oh.
pretty green. I would say he was avocado taken too soon from this world green.
Oh.
And for
Wow.
the viewers at home, we like to talk about warlock diseases, but both of our parents died of cancer. That could be helpful. We have
Yeah. That
Just-
maybe we should
just to
mention
sprinkle
that.
that word. But I was in school too. Yeah, my daddy was going on that jet ski for 8 to 10 years, and I don't know. I just watched Elton John's Rocket Man, and my daddy was a rocket man into the molten center of his urn. And he died.
Wow.
Yeah. It's a big. But he died, and then on January 5th, like I said, J5. And no big deal. Then he had the funeral, and 6 days later, I was back in college learning about epistemology and how nothing doesn't matter. And that's sort of where we want you to get in this podcast, just an extreme waterbending nihilism kind of vibe.
Yeah, those are the vibes.
Those are the vibes. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I was thinking about that today, though, because I saw a post online, if you've heard of it,
Yes, I have.
about someone whose dad died of COVID, and then their professor said that they should have planned it earlier if they wanted more time on their assignments. And I just thought that was so great, because that's what happened to me, and I don't want anyone to ever have a better experience than me.
Yes.
Your
yes.
thoughts?
I mean, oh God. I think it's just, I mean, you guys were in college, so I guess it's a little bit different. But like high school, it's like, imagine just like having the worst tragedy happen, and then you have to go back to like 16-year-olds just like staring at you. Like, I don't know. I thought everyone was going to be so apologetic and like running up to me and being like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. But everyone just stared at me and like didn't say anything. I was like, hey, Gabby. I was like, do you have something to say? Like, and they're like, no, I'm just, hey. And it was just so weird. And even teachers, like, my counselor cried when I told her she died. I was like, wait, shouldn't I be like crying
Did you meet
in your
her?
arms?
She was cool. Yeah, she was cool.
She was
yeah.
dope. It was a loss.
Did
for
you comfort her in that moment?
No, I was kind of just like, why would I comfort her? I don't know. It was
No, I'm
strange. I was
kidding,
just like, all right, so
Classic prank.
she feels bad. Yeah, classic. Yeah, I don't know. Weird fucking times.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like no matter what age you are, like when you're young, it's just like there's a common theme of like you feel like no one understands what you're going through. But especially in high school, like, yeah, people are concerned with other things. They're not thinking about the depth of death and mortality and these things that like suddenly dawn upon you. They're, like we said, thinking about homecoming. And fucking. Fucking.
Honestly, a really good fucking zinger that happened after mom died is
#banger. Okay, go.
#banger. But it was like reverse because like, I don't know, it was like a double banger, but I'll explain.
Mutual.
So
go on.
Basically, it was consensual, but like, so people were texting me like when people started finding out she was dead in my grade and whatnot. And then this one girl texted me,
gossip.
this like acquaintance of mine texted me, OMG, Gabby's mom died. She texted me that, and I got that text amidst this flood of like, I'm sorry texts. And I was just like, wow,
sad
that
bitch.
is beautiful. Yeah. I was cracking up though. Like I was like, that's just what I needed actually.
How did you respond?
I think she then realized and like quickly was like, OMG, I'm so fucking sorry, whatever. And I was just like, it's okay. I think I was just like, I don't care. Like, honestly, it was funny. Weird, but
I like that.
Yeah, that's like a good shake-up in between all like just the sorrowful, like, I'm so sorry about your loss text. Like, it would
felt
be fun
good.
to get that little...
Yeah,
that
just
little
something
surprise.
blunt. No one's trying to make you feel better. I remember one of my dad's friends, like my dad died when he was 57, not to brag. And one of his friends was like, wow, that's just way too young. I'm 58. And then he just like slowly nodded, and I was like, "Congrats, you dusted him.
Made it.
You left him in the
Dusted
dust,
him.
and he is dust. You alakazammed him." Uh, you know.
Congrats, man. Congrats.
Yeah, one of my friends when I got back, I didn't have a lot of people staring. I don't know if you have the same, Maddie. You went to a big school, but not a lot of people like knew in my college environment or
Yeah, no, same,
like made a
same.
big move to let me know that they knew. But one guy was like, "Wow, I heard about your dad, and man, you know, I think I would just probably kill myself." And I was like, "Wow, I've actually thought of that, but I haven't gone forward it yet." Good to know I have some fans with the foam fingers, just end it all. But I was like,
Funny
"That's
you say so.
crazy." I was like,
Oh
"Oh,
my god.
I don't know." I felt good. I was like, "Yeah, I don't know." Part of what made me feel better about having not having a lot of people could share the experience is I had to make this like protective ego shell where I was awesome and they would all die if they had the same pain as me. And that helped. That
That
incredible
works.
crustacean octopus shell of alienating yourself from all human experience falsely. So it
God,
helped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That-
yeah,
yeah.
For
Yeah, it did
sure.
help. I haven't actually heard
Great.
like
Totally.
Hmm?
I was
What?
gonna ask Maddie. I haven't heard a lot of
Oh.
your university bangers or your experience there.
I don't have a lot of university bangers because I similarly the crustacean method went into like ISO.
Nice.
I went into straight ISO mode after my mom died. Like I was just
Isopropyl.
like
Yeah.
I was
Mhm.
hunkered down, baby. Like I wasn't really seeing people. I wasn't dropping bangers. You know what I mean? Like I really can't think of any. I was like a sensitive grief baby. You know.
Yeah.
Well,
Everyone's
I
banging
like
at
to
different
laugh.
times.
I mean, I like to laugh maniacally at things that are sad in my life. So
Yeah.
I guess, we have different coping mechanisms. We all do. So
Yeah, do you remember when I called you when my dad died? And
yes.
I don't know if you could hear the smile, but I just sort of broke down and I was like I saw my dad's green reptiloid body and I just started laughing. I was like, "No way." I think I was partly laughing because I was still so surprised even though he was like dying for more time than I was alive. Like I was like, "What?" And I just had to fucking break down, giggle puss, launch out all
Giggle
those
puss.
octopus
Yeah.
tentacles. Yeah.
You gotta. Yeah.
Word. Yeah. One thing from college that I remember is like when my mom told us that she was sick, she like invited us out to lunch and it was me and my brother because we were in college. We went to the same college. So we were like going to have lunch on campus and I smoked weed before. I was like, I'm just going to get kind of high, stoned. It'll be no problem. But there was a weird vibe. Like I knew she was about to drop like a bomb on us for some reason. So
Banger.
I was a little bit anxious.
The
And
proto
then she
banger.
tells us, she was like, so
Dunk.
I have stage 4 cancer. And I remember I was just like,
Ba-da-da-da.
I was stoned and I was I
Boom.
pretty much had a panic attack right there at the table. And I was like, wow, this is a bad day to get stoned before lunch with mom. But
Wow, that's
yeah.
Little did I know. I thought it was going to be chill.
Straight up.
Chill vibes.
I
The
freaked
vibes were
fuck
not.
out.
wow, that's a dubstep
then-
acid trip at gmail.com right there.
It
That
was
is a
bad.
dumb-
It was bad. And she died a short year later. Not even. She didn't make it a whole year,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
Yeah, you guys
she
really
bit-
laughed me.
She
Yeah.
beat your dad to the finish line after his many years as a veteran. Truly,
Yeah.
our mother
Yeah.
was young and spry
was a
entering the
wizard.
competition.
Yeah, she got
Seriously.
crushed. Yeah.
Yeah. Or she won. I mean,
She won.
let's just say
She
it like
won.
it is.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Who was calling who crying first?
Yeah, just because my dad was paralyzed means your mom beat him in the race. Very cool. Very cool. Yeah.
Officially, I mean officially.
know.
I don't know.
I remember when you called me, I think it was, I guess it would have been my freshman year of college, and you were like, "Oh my God, my mom's sick again, and she's not even gonna see me married." And I was like,
Did
"Wow."
I say that?
Yeah,
Whoa.
because you're like, it won't even be more than like 5 years, and then like I don't know, like 12 minutes later, she exploded, And you're
Yeah.
still not married, as far as you've
And-
told me.
I don't think
And
Gabby ever wants to get
That's
married.
funny because
That's
I don't think I've ever wanted to get married. So it's like that's how irrational I was in the face of grief.
I
I was
know.
like, she's not gonna see me wed my
She's not gonna see the
husband.
white picket fence
She's not gonna
outside
see
my
me lose my
suburban home.
virginity.
I know you were
Oh,
upset. It was.
sorry.
Okay.
He's not gonna read the
Just-
tweets. Yeah.
Let's just move on.
Well,
Well.
we were just talking about some questions, and
Mhm.
we're talking about bangers, and I guess my first stage of grief would have been I don't know, chronic insanity. Like I don't know, like the Joker-ism kind of giggling.
Say one.
So let's break the mythos on that grief train stage platform game.
Such
just
Like
crack it open.
immediate grief.
Yeah, what was the first?
no,
Because when
the
I
stages of grief.
Oh,
stages of grief, first reaction, that kind of
Yeah,
that kind
the
of jam.
model of grief. I don't agree with it. It's like you can't put grief into a stage model. It's like
Unless it's
you
my
jump.
play. Yeah.
yeah, just
And then go check it
a
out, Broadway.
crazy orchestration.
but I did beat every level, and I got to the final boss, and I'm
it's like,
healed.
It's
but
like Subway Surfer over the bodies of your loved
Yeah, yeah.
ones. Oh.
yeah, I fucking Candy Crush dunked everyone, but I mean, it's fine. No, I think that
Damn, congrats, dude.
Yeah,
I
I
think
know.
my first initial
Tempo
reaction
run.
was obviously just shock. It doesn't even, at least for me, it did not
Yep.
sink in fully. Because first of all, for reference, from the point that we knew our mom was gonna for sure die to the point where she died, it was 11 days. So literally we were like, oh, mom's dying. Then a week later, it was like, she's so gone.
Yeah.
So it was
Yeah.
very shocking, and I was just like, no, I don't know. I had to move out of her house, which was weird. Going through the shit is pretty
Yeah.
weird.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
I don't even know. It was a roller coaster, especially when you have siblings.
Yeah, and the whole hospice experience is weird too.
Mhm.
But yeah, it was especially weird for us because our mom was staying at her boyfriend's place at the time, and it was a complicated relationship for our family because she cheated on our dad with this man, and we had
God.
never met him
Da,
before.
da, da, da.
Un-
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Straight up until she was sick and literally dying in his house. So that was the first time that we met him.
Yeah, so we were like, what's up, bro?
You're
We're
like,
just here to
"Yo,
see our mom who's
nice to meet
chilling in
you."
your bed.
We heard she's in the bedroom.
Yeah, we heard there's a kickback.
I heard it's her first time there. Comments? Never been here before? Is it true?
you told us pull up and sent us the address. I don't know.
I don't know. This was the address I
I
was
just
sent, so
trusted
I just
you.
showed up.
So you live in this Hilton hotel suite? Pretty cool. Good digs. Good digs. Yeah, I don't know. I felt I've here's something that I think it's the thing that people don't talk about. People love to say people don't talk about, but people do talk about. I felt a lot of relief. Like my dad had been sick for 10 years, and I was like, man, he really should give me all his money. And so I I sort of just snuffed him out with prayer. No, I didn't use prayer. But it was I did. We're taking a train, but I did feel relief. It's you're sort of waiting for so long, and it's such a burden. To know that someone is in an incredible inexorable amount of pain. So I don't know. I felt that for a while, and then that on the heels of that quickly came a little bit of self-hatred. It's like, oh, you think you think you can bench press your whole weight because your dad died? Not true. You're still regular.
Reality comes crashing
Yeah,
down.
that's
Yeah.
that's stage 1.5 for me. Just to
I see. Yo, I feel the relief thing, and I feel like we feel shamed or guilty for feeling that way.
Mhm.
But it's so true. I felt the same way. Finally, my mom wasn't sick anymore, so I could release that pain that I was fucking harboring myself. But yeah, I was shocked. I was I was sad right away. I think I just was very emo right off the bat. But yeah, I think shocked and
Isopropyl shock. Yeah.
yeah.
What is with isopropyl?
I don't know. She said iso, and I was like isolation, isopropyl.
Isolation.
Yeah, if you can't tell, that's kind of my defense mech. I go ISO.
Yeah, you can see that.
I go ISO.
Hell yeah.
Maddie's only half in the camera, so she can ISO right out of frame just whenever
What?
she wants.
No. What? No, this is a podcast. No one
Yeah,
even
yeah, no,
cares
There,
unless
it's
they
a
want to
vis-
stare at us.
But anyways,
So-
the
yeah.
stages, to break it down stage by stage, I don't think you can do because you hit them at different moments and like you'll go back to like previous stages and shit, I don't know.
Yeah, I think
Anger, did I feel that? I don't know.
Oh, I feel that one. I think the worst thing about the stages is it's like a staircase and it's assumed that you're like going up. Like you're like, oh, I'm done with like depression now. I'm just gonna go on to mindless fury. Where it's just this big sort of, it's like those ball pits, that kids get lost
Yeah.
in. But all of
Yeah.
the feelings are just meatballs of pain. And you're just covered in marinara, trying to claw your way out.
Oh my
But
god.
I think the one that was the most insidious, though, was the mollusk, octopus, crayfish style. Because I had Gabby to talk to, but I didn't realize how much I was isolating.
yeah,
And
yeah,
still
for
do.
sure. Yeah.
I was like,
Word.
no, I'm just tired today, and I hate you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely avoiding people at all costs.
No, it's a confusing time. I feel like the stages are really unclear for me. Like I don't know, I don't feel very aware of like how I'm feeling. Or, like no, I just feel like it fluctuates so much, like it's hard to put a label on what stage I'm in, or I don't know,
Yeah.
it's not linear at all. Like if it's a birthday or a holiday or whatever, like then I feel like I'm in a different stage. I don't know. I feel like I'm in a different stage depending on like context.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
true.
Like it-
That's true.
You're never out of it. You know what I mean? It's like you don't really just win the game and be like, I'm chill now. It's kind of like forever.
Questions, answers, questions.
We have questions that have been submitted. Questions have
Oh,
been
yeah.
submitted for us grief babies to answer. Here's the first one.
Mhm.
What emotion do you feel the most regarding death?
Wah.
Hold on. What do I think? I don't know. I asked you to hold on. I actually know what I think. I don't know. Fear?
Get
That
into
seems
it.
normal.
Okay, fear, yeah. Yeah, I don't fear death myself. If I do die, I hope it's quick. That's the only thing.
yeah.
That's I fear like a long drawn out death. But death is scary. I think actually grief changes your like perception of death. I think like depending on where you are at in the grieving process, maybe your perception changes a little bit. I don't know. But yeah. Fear.
I feel a lot more different about life than death, actually. Well, what do you think, Gabby?
I feel like, at least now, in the place I'm at, I feel just like a nostalgic feeling, or like just a feeling of missing something, like missing that
Yeah.
person, like a little emptiness, I guess, or like a longing. But I don't know. I guess regarding like death as a whole, I don't know. I mean, obviously, like, yeah, fear a little bit, but at the same time, yeah, I feel like if anything, dealing with loss this strongly and like young, kind of, yeah, I don't fear it as much as maybe I used to, or I just feel like I have a grasp on it more and I understand it.
Yeah, I feel like I
Yeah.
understand it more for sure.
Yeah, it's hard to say, like, because we're all 3 or 4 years out, like, what's the most prominent feeling now. But I don't know, I guess my feeling towards life that I was talking about earlier, which me and Gabby have talked about, is sometimes I feel sort of an absurd weariness for life. Like, actually, like, life seems longer now that someone has died in my life. Like, maybe it's just because it's such an arduous experience to like go through that level of trauma. But
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm 22, and the idea of, even dying when my dad died at 57, I'm like, 35 more years?
Yeah.
What on earth am I going to do?
Definitely.
I
Like,
know.
Like, just have a sandwich for 20,000 more days?
Yeah.
Oh,
I
my
know.
God.
Whenever we say that to other people, Harry, like, no one agrees.
I
At least in
know.
my experience, like, whenever I drop that bomb, I'm like, how about living long? That sucks. Everyone's just like, wait, what? I'm like, oh, yeah, you actually,
Yeah.
you want to be 105 for some reason. And
It's a special type
we're
of
different.
person.
I don't know.
Yeah, our mom died when she was 49. So, yeah, anything past 50, I'm like, whew.
So we're
woo,
hoping
you
for an
made
early
it,
one.
baby,
We're hoping
you
for a-
made it.
Geezer.
We're hoping for an early one, too.
Yeah, death early, why not? Getting old, who needs it?
Here for a good time, not a fucking long time, okay?
That's right. That's right, Jonestown Sisters.
Also, I'm just like, I don't know if I have it in me to do like 45 more years. I feel, I don't know. I don't know if I have it in me mentally.
You're more of a sprint mindset.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
here's another question.
Another question, all right.
What emotion?
Oh, that was a great, inspiring wrap-up. Life is long. Fuck off. I'm ready. Next question.
I think
All
that
right.
answered it.
Any final remarks? Any final remarks regarding
No.
the emotion you? Okay. Anyways,
Okay.
what emotion do you hate to feel?
Just this is a Lulu Davis question.
Mm.
Emotional.
Mhm.
Shout out.
Let's see.
Cancer queen.
That's the emotion you hate to feel. I hate
No.
to feel like a cancer queen.
No, I was shouting out Lulu.
Let's see. Gosh, I don't know. I don't really have. It's hard for me to think of an emotion with grief that I don't like.
I know. I would say like guilt. Like if you feel guilty
Yeah.
about like something that you maybe,
Yeah.
things that you wish that you could
Mhm.
have done or said or et cetera, et cetera. The list goes fucking on and on, which is like the fucked up part about feeling guilty, because like it's a hole that you could spiral into. But yeah, like just guilt regarding.
We love
things.
spirals
Spirals.
around
Yeah, we
here.
love spirals. Yeah.
That's- yeah. Dead
Yeah,
Parents Club
guilt's true.
classic. Yeah, guilt. Like I don't like that, and I try not to hold on to it because it's not. You can't go back. But yeah, that's one.
Well, my dad,
be real.
I asked him because he was sick while I was living in Portland, Oregon, which is far away. So I felt very guilty about that.
Yeah.
And we talked all the time about it, and he was like, "No, you should go do your thing. That's cool." And I still feel guilty. So I feel guilty about feeling guilty. So like my exponentialized like sort of mecha double rainbow guilt is a hard
Wow.
one.
Yeah,
Mm.
that is a fucking double
Mm.
rainbow.
I love that.
That hits.
Yeah.
I don't know about this one. I'm trying not to hate feeling things. Like, I don't want to, like, hate a feeling I have. I'm trying to really accept all of them, which is
Word, yeah.
You go,
easier
girl.
said than done. Not saying I'm good at it, but, God, I don't know. I guess, I don't know. Yeah, the guilt for sure, or, like,
Well, how about
I
this?
don't
What have
know.
we said? What is the emotion like that you need to do the most, or you feel like you need to do the most work with, or something? Not even to like get rid of it or whatever, but something unresolved.
Okay, well, I have the concept that I've run past you too, which is the rose-colored glasses of grief, which
Oh yeah,
I-
the blood-colored lenses.
yeah, exactly. Blood smeared sunnies. But no, so it's like, I feel like after someone dies, especially if they're your parent or close to you, you can kind of view them in like rose-colored glasses light of like, they were a fucking saint, they're dead now, I need to like appreciate them and whatever. But then it took me so long. It took me like 3 years to be like, wait, when my mom was living, there were definitely issues. There were definitely kinks in our relationship, like, and just because she's dead doesn't mean that's like I'm healed from that or that didn't exist, So having to go back and like look at past experiences with that person is, I think, hard, because then you have to be like, okay, there are some resentments or some things that I'm still holding on to from that. And the death doesn't wash that away, and you have to kind of dig it up, at least for me. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yep.
Realizing
Death can bury it, though. Yeah.
Realizing mommy wasn't an angel, but she is now.
But she is now.
I feel like that's, I don't know, I've been doing that, or like looking through my dad's letters and thinking about him as, I don't know, a human being who like could have been more supportive and whatnot. But I don't know, that feels good. That feels like progress for me because, I don't know, there's the looking at him like this wonderful little guy that I missed the shit out of, but in reality he was not supportive of depression. Well, that makes it sound like he wanted. That makes it sound like I'm gonna get a career in depression, and he thought I should get a degree in philosophy like I did.
You're gonna be a star in depression, kid. You're gonna be a big star.
Do we have any more? Let's see. Okay. One more question. Do we have 2 more questions?
2 more, but
Two more.
They both revolve. I feel like we kind of answered. Do you feel you have followed the typical stages?
Yeah, we
of
kind
grief?
of did.
We kind of covered that. What was the most surprising part of grief you have encountered thus far? Lisa asked this question. The most surprising part of grief you have encountered thus far.
I think the relief was surprising for me. And also the laughing, that was scary. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I think the most surprising part was probably how fast like time moves on, if that makes sense. Like after they die, I feel like right away, you're kind of like clinging on to the last days, months, whatever. And I feel like it's surprising how fast you have to move on and how fast life moves on in general. I feel like I was very surprised. Like I was almost just like, why isn't everyone stopping? My mom died. Like, can everyone chill? But it's like, no, like shit's gonna keep going real quick. And like, even as the years go by, I'm always surprised. Like, oh, it's the 3rd year or like whatever,
Yeah, people care for like 24 hours on Facebook, and then it's like out of their mind forever.
24 hours, that's way too long.
Yeah, I know. I guess I was giving them a lot of time. That's right.
I guess another thing that surprised me that I feel is one of the most valuable things I've gotten from this is that even though my dad was sick for so long, your mom had a terminal illness too. So I thought about his death all the time, what it would be like for most of my development. But then when it happened, I was so surprised, and I had no idea what it would be like. And I think that was surprising to me, that I had like meditated on it for like a decade, and still I could not, like, cause your mom died just a few months before my dad did, and you were immediately like in a different world than I was until I caught up to your fast-running reptile mom.
Yeah. No, you really do. That's a good way to put it, honestly. Like, it is kind of like you're launched into a whole new existence. I don't know. It's for like everything.
Temple Run 2.
Everything just
Subway Surfer. Gold Bar.
Everything becomes just like adapting to that new normal and adapting to that person not being there, and all these I mean, there's so much things that come with a parent dying, especially, or someone that's really prominent in your life. Like, you have to change a lot of stuff, and I feel like that's not talked about, or people don't realize that. I didn't realize that. It's just like all the shit that comes with it, like the red tape stuff almost. It's like
the bureaucracy.
Yeah, it's really weird.
Big Brother.
So then, you have to deal with all that shit right away, and you're already just like, I don't know where I am in this world, and then you're like, no one's stopping because I'm grieving, and then it's fun. It is a roller coaster.
It is a roller coaster straight into molten fun. That's what we've always said.
Molten hot fun, baby.
Yeah, one-way ticket. I don't know.
One-way ticket.
I'm surprised by. I was surprised by her death in the first place. It happened so fast. Like, I was like, wait, what's happening?
I know that is the most surprising thing that people can actually die.
Yeah,
It's like,
I'm
what?
like, wow, she's gone. She's
Excuse
literally
me.
gone. Yeah, that was like, it was hard for me to wrap my head around, I guess, at first. It was like, wait, she's really fucking gone. I was surprised by some of the people that showed up to the funeral and some of the people that didn't. Boom.
That's true.
Well,
yeah. Yeah.
honestly, I think we should save another episode for just funeral talk.
Yeah, funeral talk is
'Cause there's
next
some-
episode.
Yeah.
Next episode, baby.
Let's leave him wanting. I say
Cliffhanger.
that cliffhanger.
You don't know what happened at my mom's funeral.
Oh, but you
You
want
don't
to
know.
But
yeah.
tune in next Monday.
Tune in next
to the Monday morning podcast. You can find us on deadparentsclub.rip, where you probably did find us because we made you find us there.
Yes.
And our Instagram,
Keep coming
deadparentsclub.rip.
Yeah.
And our
SoundCloud,
tombstone.
deadparentsclub.rip.
Dead
And our
Parents
tombstone.
Club dot rip.
And our big fat urns. And so I'm Harry.
I'm Gabby.
I'm Madison.
And we're fucking sad.
Dead.
Aw.
Yeah, fuck you guys. Thanks.
Also,
We're ghosts.
feel free to submit a question or topic.
Oh, yeah.
A question, a topic, a banger. Thanks for banging in, guys.
Open to all submissions. Yeah, keep on banging. Keep on
Bye.
banging.
Bye.
What color is your dead parent?
Woo.